Hello all the students, welcome to the online course of Matrix Methods of Structural Analysis. I am Professor Zape Anuja, Civil Department, Sanjuni College of Engineering, Kopargaon. So in previous videos we have completed with unit number 4 and 5, that is unit 4 is analysis of beam structure and unit 5 is analysis of frame structure. Now today we'll start with the 6th unit, that is analysis of grid structure. So in previous unit we have started with the derivation part. Same way here also we will move forward with this unit with the derivation of standard stiffness matrix for this grid structure. Okay. So basically we should know what grid structures are. So grid, that is a combination of 2D beams with some twisting effect. This grid structure, they are having the twisting effect in that, so because of that it can withstand three type of forces, that is bending moment, shear force and twisting moment. Okay, and these members are connected to each other in orthogonal direction. So here as you can see these figures, here this is the figure of grid. Okay, and they are subjected to load perpendicular to its plane. Okay, or to move it, will know the difference between the grid and frame structure. So frame, here just a simple example, portal frame. So we have solved the problems of portal frame, right? So that portal frame, it is loaded with some load this way. Okay, that means whatever the loading on that portal frame, it is within the plane of that frame. Okay, just consider this paper as a one frame. Okay, this paper as a one frame. So here if this is the frame, that load it is along or in that plane, it is acting in that plane. But whereas if we consider the grid, okay, so the grid, consider this as a plane, the plane of paper is a plane of grid. Suppose here is one grid member, the second member it is here. So load which is coming on the beam, it is in this direction perpendicular to the plane of paper, plane of grid. Okay, so that is the basic difference between the loading of frame and loading of grid. In grid the load is perpendicular to the plane, whereas in frame structure the load it is in its own plane. Okay, so here this is frame and these are the grid structures. Okay, so here as we know that as the load it is perpendicular to the plane, it can withstand bending moment, twisting moment and shear force. Okay, now we will move to the second point, that is derivation of stiffness matrix for this grid structure. This unit also contains two approaches, that is structure approach and member approach. So first we will cover with this stiffness matrix derivation part and then we will move forward with derivation, numerical problems. Okay, so to start with the derivation of stiffness matrix for grid structure, grid element. So very first we will consider the individual member. This as an individual member having node 1 and node 2. Length, that is L. Length of that member is L. Now for grid structure, remember there are 3 degrees of freedom per node. 3 degrees of freedom per node, and those degrees of freedom are: one is vertical displacement, that is delta. Second is twisting rotation, theta, and third is bending rotation, because two types of movements are there. Okay, bending moment, twisting moment. So the action or the displacement corresponding to those actions, that is rotation, twisting rotation and bending rotation. Okay, so three unknowns are there for grid structure: delta, theta in twisting, theta in bending. Okay, so here we will consider the axis. This horizontal is x-axis, vertical y-axis, and towards the observer z-axis. Okay, so here 3 degrees of freedom per node. Okay, 3 degrees of freedom per node. So we will mention those 3 degrees of freedom with letters D, capital D, from 1 to 6. Okay, for member node 1 3 degrees of freedom, for node 2 3 degrees of freedom. So total are 6. So here let us move with D1, D2, D3 in this sequence only. Okay, in this sequence: vertical displacement, twisting rotation, bending rotation. So first, vertical rotation, this D1. D1 is displacement in y direction at node 1. Displacement in y direction at node 1, D1, that is denoted with this vertical arrow. Now second degree of freedom, that is twisting. Okay, twisting moment. So that moment we will show here. Okay, twisting moment. This member, it is along the x direction, and if the moment is also in x direction, that is along this x axis. Okay, you just consider this plane as a member, and if that moment it is acting this direction, okay, in this direction, that is about this x axis, so what will happen? The member will twist. Okay, member will twist. मराठी मध्ये आपण जसं म्हणतो पिळा पडणं, एखाद्या दोरीला पिळा पडणं. ओके, so this member, it will twist this direction. So that is what the twisting effect. Okay, twisting effect. So here in this x direction, that moment is acting, that is rotation in x direction. So we cannot show this type of moment. Okay, because that arrow about this axis, it will create a confusion in this z axis also. So better we will have this type of arrow with double headed arrow. Okay, so this is second degree of freedom D2, that is D2, we'll write here rotation in x direction at node 1. Rotation D2, rotation in x direction at node 1. And last D3, 3 degrees of freedom for node 1, for node 1. And next 3 degrees of freedom, that is D4, D5 and D6, they are for node 2. Okay, so D3, that is this third degree of freedom, bending rotation. So this bending rotation, that means this member, it is in a xy plane, so its bending moment is about this third axis, that is this z axis. Okay, so here that moment we can show with the help of circular arrow, but here we'll use the same way sign convention, that is this double headed arrow. Okay, this is your D3 along z direction, that is about that z axis, this moment is acting, this D3. Okay, so that D3 is what? Rotation in z direction at that node 1. Similarly these three with the same sequence, this is the displacement. D5 is rotation in x direction and D6 is rotation in z direction. So that will show here this D4 displacement in y direction at node 2, D5 rotation in x direction at node 2, and this D6, that is rotation in z direction at node number 2. Okay, now the next step, okay, this is the first step, that is to define these 6 degrees of freedom in their proper direction at that respective node number. Okay, this is the first step. Now second step, to start with the derivation of stiffness matrix for this individual member. Okay, this is the individual member, so that's why we will call it as a local stiffness matrix. Okay, local stiffness matrix. So if you remember the procedure from frame we have done the same step, that is taking these displacements 6 degrees of freedom equal to 1 by 1 in each step. Okay, so there will be 6 figures for each of these degree of freedom when it is equal to 1 unit. Okay, so second step, let d1 equal to 1, d1 equal to 1. So d1 is what? Vertical displacement at this node 1. So let us draw the figure. This is your original member AB, sorry, node 1 2. We are calling it with 1 2. Now give the displacement in positive direction, that is in upward direction, d1 equal to 1. So it will take the shape, only this displacement is given at node 1, the node 2 it is at its place only. Okay, this way. So because of this vertical displacement translation, it will form sinking moment. Okay, sinking